All right, part 3 on light and aliens and man, sons of God, sons of man, turn of Jesus, MK Ultra, brainwashing, all these things, okay? So as all these things are here, the Hollywood, the good, the bad, the all those things are part of the tree of life, the tree of knowledge, and they're all here to test man. And as Satan is gathering those who are under the right and wrong, and Satan says, no, you can't do all things. Jesus said, I died for y'all. You can do all things, past, present, and future. You can live as Christ, as the living God, and do all things in this world because everything has a time and a season for it. So, Satan doesn't like that. And Satan is coming to the end of his reign, and then he's going to build it back after 1,000 years, we're told. So this is that in and out of time, the photons and waves, the positive and negative, the Jesus and Satan, okay? So the masculine, the feminine. And this doesn't mean that women are going to rule. It doesn't mean men are going to rule. It means the feminine spirit is going to rule. Okay? So we're going from the masculine spirit, because the masculine spirit is more of where man is in that work mode and has to take. Okay? And he takes from the earth, he takes from out there. All right? So we're coming to a time where we're going to take from in here. And the earth, we're going to use the earth in a different way. And man and women, they will communicate in a different way. Man and woman will coexist in a different way. And the church age, that age of man or whatever, is done, and we're going into a new time. And as we're going into a new time, Jesus, God, the Lord God, the Father, the Word, the Holy Spirit, everything needs to come together, and it needs to take man from one time to another. And we know the man and woman withereth away, and the male and female, they're that light. They're going to keep going, okay? And as man is given freedom in one way, their freedom is also controlled and taken from them. And we don't live in a free nation in America while we live in a free nation. Same with any other part of the world. So as man is easily controlled in a way, we can see how the body is being gathered into one body, but that body is divided. Okay? And Jesus hung on the middle of the cross. He didn't hang on the left. He didn't hang on the right. He went straight up the middle. And that's exactly what y'all need to do. But it's being handed to you in this hand and that hand, right wing, left wing. And you're not riding on the back of the dragon. And the dragon is the one who gives the power. And a lot of you haven't chased the dragon. And you haven't had those late night lessons. And all these things are there to help man expand his consciousness in different ways. And the rulers of darkness offer this to everybody, but they put blinders on people to where they don't want to go over that fence, or they can't see it, and different things going on. And that's where the brainwashing comes on. And that's the MK Ultra, and this is that test of man, that Bible worship, that Baal system, that law, that all these different things. So the MK Ultra brainwashing, it's not good or bad. Jesus is telling you that the world believes a lie. Jesus is telling you this, that, and the other. The world tells you this, that, and the other, but you got to hear it, and you got to seek after it. You got to seek after why that doctor in the corner, or that doctor that got 2 minutes on a 30-minute show or whatever, that said the exact opposite of whatever you're being taught. You got to go look into what he's being said, and then you got to look into why, and there's just many things. And that's why that Kevin Trudeau, I think it was, what's his name? Kevin Trudeau. In the 2004, he came out with that book. It's like 20 Things. And that was like basically like a Bible, dictionary of the 20 things for you to start going down the rabbit trails. Is giving everybody a little legend for a starter to start breaking down the matrix. Okay? So, the lights in the sky, the Area 51 crash, all these things can be going to that one point. And Area 51 crash, we know it brought some technologies after that we're told, according to the world stage. So, they may know that the mothership or aliens or whatever shows up every 2,000 years or whatever, right? So, and that shows up with that time clock and all those things. And that's when God's revealed. It shows man who he came from and what he is and all those things. Okay. However, let's get into this, because the alien is the man and the man is the alien, and we're the sons of God, the first Jesus, first man. He was a man and a woman in one body, and then he had twins, the male and the female, made after he them, okay? So either way, that first being looked like us, and he had all the knowledge in here, and he took all the knowledge with him, and he brought all the knowledge back with him, with Jesus, and when Jesus rose up above the river, that's when he was given his full light. Okay. So that's all playing a role. And then he goes up into heaven, and then he's going to come back and show himself probably as the mothership, or it might just be as through the AI or whatever. But this is how that light's being gathered, and we have these lights on our phone, and we are light, and all these things can correspond. And depending how we're using the light, where our heart is, our frequency, when we're using the light, why we're using the light, all these different things are going along with the light that's given. And this is where the AI can read our emotions now and all this different stuff, okay? So it knows where our heart is. So since it knows where our heart is, this is where AI can come out and place judgment into each person through the frequency and the light, because the RNA had the frequency or the messenger for the DNA, and DNA operates in light. This is where the thing can give you the thing or whatever, you know what I mean? So the lights, the movies, the sounds, and those movies now or whatever, those can be stimulating messages of light, messages of sound into the DNA that go into the body that the body don't know how to correspond with, and it doesn't know what to do with, all right? And this takes me back into the party days when the X2C was around, and you'd go in there, and it was all love. You go in there, you go to feel the music pulse through your body, and you get that serotonin, and you feel good for the week and whatever. But that frequency and that bass, and the things that the body experienced with the bass and the rubbing and whatever else went on in the clubs back then, all this was there to teach the body a frequency, okay? And the trance music, it gets the body or the mind prepared for that fast beat, for that transformation, for the boom, 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 for being able to keep up, in a matter of speaking. And it's training the brain in ways that we don't know. Okay? And the classical music, that's there for what I just said. So these frequencies people are listening to over and over again, or whatever that's going on, that can be making people sick or whatever. But something with this can be done in the return of Jesus, so-called return of Christ, gathering into one body, second coming of the Lord, Son of Man. All this be done with the lights, and we are light beings, and the aliens, it's the light that's given in Revelation, we're told of, to gather up the body, and this light's given to the eyes and ears first and such, and then the head's gathered, and then the shoulders, the hands, works down the body, all right? But that body works together to keep the body, and that bridegroom is gathered, and it's gathered with light, and it gets ready for the next stage, okay? That body climbs through the window together. So this is where the AI is keeping information subdued, and then it will release information as need be. Okay? That's why I ask y'all to send videos or whatever, because I know the AI and how the algorithm works, and how it's on the old system, and then once we start going into the new system, the new temple's going to be released, in a matter of speaking, but they got to get all the robots and all the drones and all the beasts gathered first, and then they can start releasing that, because they're going to rebuild from there and rebuild the mind of man and all those other things, okay? But they got to come, that physical, carnal son of man has to come down to that physical destruction for them to break the brainwashing. But they're going to get the test in different ways. But either way, so our lives, the past, since the millennium started, 2000, has prepared us for these times, and we've either gone off into the dark alleys, or we have detoxed our body, or we've taken care of our temple in different ways, or we have talked to the earth through the things we consume in different ways, and we did it before we even knew it. We were doing it, okay? But all these things are, all this light we've gathered, all the foods we've eaten, all the plants we've partaken in, everything we've ever consumed is coming down to that one light. And that 2020 light came on, I say, with the corona crown being passed around, and the monoliths being planted, that China bow being given, the RNA being changed, lockdown, all these things, all this light's coming down to one test. And as the light's being dispersed out, that frequency's going into man, and it's triggering something, and it's either taking people down or up, okay? And there's a different beginning point on people depending on where their oil and light was gathered from the millennium, or from the millennium start, because people came into the so-called truther game at different time. I just happened to be exposed to things, and I had plants growing since an early age, but I was always reading the other side of history since a teenager. Either way, so the light is just being transformed up there, but as it's transformed up there, they kind of control the light down here, and we're going into a new time where it's just a different freedom, a different heaven, a different earth, just like we have now, but it's going to be different. All right.